Are you exonerating the players for their disgusting display on that final play?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can exonerate Tyreek Stevenson. I agree with you. I don't think you can exonerate Kevin Byard. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, thank you.
But that doesn't mean I still don't have questions. That second to last play, I think we have a little bit of a disagreement on this, and I would never think to really argue with you on schematic things in football, but I just don't get the point of having TJ Edwards watch Austin Eckler or Jaden Daniels. I'm sorry, I just don't get it.
If you're telling me that they should have been in a normal defensive formation, I would agree with you.
Okay.
Because with that amount of time left, they could have bailed with the receiver, and you could have had your safety still deep.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't disagree with you.
Okay. And the other thing I just can't let Matt Eberflus off the hook sometimes. And I guess what does it matter what he says? All that matters is what he does, and he's not doing enough right now in these close games. But the I don't know if it's obstinance, maybe a little bit like defending some of the decisions, and his rationalization always goes like this, Jurko. Like he told Cap and Hoodie yesterday. Oh, no, the second to last play doesn't matter. They would have thrown the Hail Mary anyway. No, it does matter. Do you remember a few weeks ago, this line? Remember this one, Chris? The time is the time. What?
Yeah, the time is the time. How else could the time be anything other than the time?
What do you mean the time is the time?
Situation's the situation.
I believe he was quoting Culture Club.
Was he?
Time won't give me time.
The moment is the moment. Yeah. Time is the time. Yeah. Situation's the situation.
No,
it is what it is.
The timeout didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
The time is the time. The play is the play. They would have gone to the Hail Mary anyway. You're wrong. You screwed up. Own it. But he doesn't want to do that. We told you yesterday that he is now 3-17 on the road. That is unacceptable. The 3 wins have come against Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, Sam Howell, and Josh Dobbs. Unacceptable. I'll give you another one. Do you want to know what Matt Eberflus's record is against teams above 500?
Record against teams above 500.
Not 500.
Well, you got to give me the amount of games.
15.
15 games. Teams that they've played above 500. His record would be 2-13.
That's exactly right. Matt Eberflus is 2-13. And if you want to throw out 2022, if you're like, come on, they were tanking, they were trying to lose, they lost 10 in a row, fine. He's 2-5 in such games since the start of last year. And that doesn't include getting boat raced, as Waddle would say, by the 1-1 Chiefs in September of last year, or losing in Week 18 again to the Packers last season when Green Bay was 8-8.
Yeah, to go 9-8.
To let them go 9-8. Doesn't include those. He lost those games too. And so, how did Tommy put it yesterday? Well, he had a great expression for them. People hate it when we bring it up. You put a bottom third team on the field, and the Bears are great. They're world beaters. They go on the road or step up in class at all, they don't win. And in a lot of these games, coaching decisions are costing them victories. And I almost couldn't believe the stat that Sylvie gave us yesterday during Crosstalk, and he said he had the stats and analytic department run it. But the 4 games in the last calendar year, which they've blown, when they've had leads in the fourth quarter, and I think the caveat was in each of those games, their win probability was at or above 95%. They've lost all 4 of them. And the probability of a team losing all 4 of those in a calendar year is 1 in a million, and that is not hyperbole. It is 1 in a million. And Ryan Poles wants to continue to sell the great job Matt Eberflus is doing. I'm sorry, but the coach of my football team needs to be more than a nice haircut and the guys play hard for him. That's the baseline. Maybe not the haircut part. Guys playing hard for you is a must. It is a prerequisite of the job. Guys playing hard for you and having a good haircut is not enough. 2-13 against teams with winning records. 3-17 on the road. 4 blown leads in the closing minutes of games in a year because of things that the coach can't get right. And it's just not good enough. I'm sorry. They play a 500 team this weekend. They play some really bad teams still on the schedule, including the New England Patriots. Oh, they'll beat the Patriots by 50. We'll all be high-fiving, and they'll be puffing out their chest. Look how good we are. We can beat, who knows, it might not even be, I'm sure he'll be clear of concussion by then, but it might not even be Drake May. It might be Jacoby Brissett. Oh, look at what we did to the Patriots. Great. A team with 2 wins. But every time they step up in class, they let us down.
Cardinals are next, kid.
The Cardinals are next at
Cardinals,
4-4.
I don't want you. I'm going to give you old coaching adage. Don't put the cart in front of the horse, okay? What we got is we got the Arizona Cardinals coming next.
Thank you for making me laugh.
See, do you want him fired, Carm? Do you think the team would play
it's not
better
that I want.
if he was
I
gone?
think they should have upgraded the coach last offseason. I was pretty clear about
ship
that.
has sailed, though.
Well, I know, and
That
no, I don't
ship
think
has
you're going to
sailed.
fire him now. They're 4-3, and you've got hopes of. I don't think they should fire him now. No, but I want more.
Would they play better if they fired him?
I don't know the answer to that, but Yerk, I think at some point you've got to rely on your coaching staff to in games against good staffs and good teams. I think you have to rely on your coach to be able to make good decisions, and he hasn't shown us an ability to do that.
To put you in the best possible position to win.
Yeah, I don't think he's shown us that he's got the ability to do that. No, I don't think firing him now does anything. I'm not saying that. They should have upgraded last year when they had a chance. They should have went after Ben Johnson a year ago when they had the chance. They knew they were drafting Caleb Williams.
Do you believe the players have lost faith in their coach?
I don't know. I'm not there. I can't answer that. I'm not there. I don't know.
Will Courtney have that answer?
Do you want to hear the Cole Kmet stuff real quick from the Q&A with Courtney and Wiederer yesterday?
Sure.
This is like a 2-minute chunk. This is Cole Kmet. You tell me. You know the way, you understand the speak. You know the language.
I know the lay of the land.
I don't cover this team on a daily basis. I'm not there. I can't accurately say. I don't think they have. I still think they do play hard for him. Again, I want my coach to be able to provide more. But this was Kmet yesterday.
Let me hear
Take
it.
a listen.
Hey, Cole. Flus just told us that Tyreek addressed the team today and took responsibility for what had happened on the Hail Mary. What was his message to you guys in terms of like holding himself accountable on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, from Tyreek, just kind of stood up and, in a way said that what he did was unacceptable and that he's got to be on the P's and Q's there, and which we all appreciate. I think unfortunately in that scenario, like he's a guy gets caught with somebody with a camera and obviously the result of the play that happens and all those type of things. But I think it's a really a good lesson for everybody to learn from in terms of how to respect the game. And I think we had examples of that throughout the game and quite frankly throughout the week of practice this past week where, there's moments where maybe some guys lay off here and there. And those are the type of things that can happen when you do that for just a split second. And, it doesn't always come to bite you in the butt, but when it does, it hurts. And that's the unfortunate and I would also say beauty of this game is that you disrespect it in a certain way, and it'll come to haunt you in some form or fashion.
But when you said there's moments in practice where people lay off, what do you mean? Just wanted to clarify what you're saying.
Yeah, it's more of a general thing. I'm not necessarily whether it's how you operate in the weight, and this is all like things done in the dark, things that only you know personally, and that's like if you're in the weight room, are you doing all 6 reps or are you doing 5 reps and getting out of there? Are you, when you're out on the field, are you getting the jugs after practice? Are you doing this? Or is your footwork correct in the walkthrough? And just those little things that can't necessarily always be addressed by a coach or another teammate, but things that you do in the dark that really come to fruition on game day. And I think that's what respecting the game is. And if you relentlessly respect the game, I think you'll get the results that you want. And unfortunately, if you get caught disrespecting the game in some form or fashion, it does come to get you at some point.
Is he speaking in generalities, or is there something that
Hey, what you doing? Nobody's watching. But he's talking about individual. He's talking about players.
Right, I know. Do you think it's something? Is he speaking from like, without calling people out by name, I'm seeing this happen within our room, or is he just speaking in
No, I
generalities?
think he's being very specific.
You do.
Yeah. I think he's being very specific. that some of his teammates are taking shortcuts. And there are no shortcuts in football.
Nope.
You're either going to do it, or you're not going to do it.
And you can't hide, man.
Yeah.
In this sport. Some you can. Football, I don't think you can. Hockey, I don't think you can. Some sports, maybe a little, but not this one. And I agree with you. There are no shortcuts. Not if you want to get to the level of being a real contender and a real championship team. So that was an interesting back and forth. Waddle texted me, Bum Slayers. It's a great name. That was a great name Waddle came up with. Bum Slayers. You can beat the Aiden O'Connells of the world and the Josh McDaniels-led teams or the Antonio Pierce-led teams, all the awful coaches, the Aiden O'Connells, the Bailey Zappies, the Bryce Youngs, the Sam Howells, the quarterbacks that don't play in this league for a reason. You'll slay those teams. You'll slay the bums. You step up in class, what happens? 312-332-3776. Albert Breer earlier today with Cap and Hoodie. Abdallah was in for Cap. He's in, I think, the rest of the week with Hoodie. Want to play something about the head coach, the offseason that passed, and what might happen in the future. We'll play that for you coming up next. It's Carmen and Jurko.